In your experience, Tony, what is the variation of subs, like in terms of their actual maturity, in the cyberspace, right? When they're actually doing the landing gear, what kind of differences do you see between subs?
I mean, it's all over the place, right? So I have worked with subs that are very small, but they have a very mature cybersecurity program, right? Because they just happen to be a widget maker that is relied on by all the major manufacturers, right? So they have to have that. They recognize and they have a very mature one. But I've also seen where it's a very large organization, but they're still, and I don't mean this to be in a negative connotation, but they're still in like a startup mentality, right? And where it's about delivery and execution, but not necessarily about the protection of the data. So they have a very immature. I've seen the gamut, and it really hasn't been limited to the size of the company or its revenue or anything like that. It really is about having the mentality to understand that there's a certain um, moral, ethical requirement to protect that data and recognize that early on, right? So, everyone's, startup world, everyone talks about MVP, but and really protection of data doesn't really necessarily is a large impact for that unless someone is really forward thinking. And that's where I think a lot of the maturity comes in. Someone that had that forward thinking, like I'm going to invest in it now because we've heard, in the screens, we've always said shift everything left. If you build security in, it makes it easier instead of bolting it on afterwards. And that's kind of what that key is just having the people recognize it and start doing it from the beginning. That's always been the hard thing.
Got it.
And like consistent data flow is critical.